What's going on, guys? Tonight I'm doing some pre-assembly. Got the bare fresh block ready to go. Got a clean station set up, got all the tech information, and then got a little build sheet going to help me stay organized, and a bench full of parts. So let's get this thing all measured out. As well as the parts, I have some specialized tools, some outside, some bore gauges, piston filer, and then the piston ring compression thinger, as well as a new torque wrench from Technical Tools. It's a 3/8, 20 to 100 foot-pounds. It's their new dual beam. It's pretty sweet. I'll show you that in a little bit. Anyways, let's get started. All right, first things first, these are Icon IC 944s, 30,000 silver forged pistons, and SCAT 6125 forged rods, ARP bolts, and these are bushed. Now the machine shop should have balanced this rotating assembly, so they have ground some spots off to make sure these are all the same weight. So it shouldn't matter which position you put them in the firing order, but the whole point of pre-assembly or blueprinting is to actually confirm that the machine shop did everything they were supposed to. So I'm going to weigh these out and essentially pick in which order they go. All right, everything came out awesome. It's labeled and checked. It came out to within 1 gram of each other. It's laid out, and the next step is to load up the bearings. Mains are first, and these are super easy. So 6 of the 7 are gonna look like this. The one with the oil hole is gonna go into the main part of the block, and then the one without is gonna go into the cap. Number 3 is going to have the actual thrust portion, and you can even tell it's radiused a little bit. So super easy. Let's slap these in. All right, next step is to torque them down. This thing is sweet. It's got a dial. Because it's the dual beam, you don't need to set it to its lowest setting for storage. Set it, put the cap back on, and it's ready to go. Mains go to 80 foot-pounds. All right, this is not the most accurate way, but it is going to be just fine for a Jeep engine. So these go in, they go up and down, you tighten down the end, and you've got your internal diameter to take over to the outside. Okay, so you've got your bore inner diameter, and you're going to take the outside and figure out what that is. That's going to be your big number in this equation. Then you'll move to your crank, figure out what this diameter is, and then this is going to be the small number in your equation. You'll subtract those two, and for the main bearings, we're looking for 1,000 to 2,500, with 1.75 being in the middle and what we're looking for. All right, the mains were line honed, so they were all the exact same. The crank itself had a little bit of wavering, but definitely within specs and very close to right in the middle. So next we'll scoot down to rod bearings. All right, now with the bearing in there, this is going to be the big number in the equation, and then the crank is going to be the small number in the equation. again, and the spec we're looking for is 2 thousandths, but anything between 1 and 3 thousandths is perfect. All right, bearings are in, measured, and all look fantastic. They all are within clearance. The back two are 1/2 thousandth out from being exactly in the middle. That could also be operator error. I am pretty new at this, but so far it's looking fantastic. So next up is going to be actually gapping the piston rings. All right, a couple things about these piston rings. I went with moly cleveite, and the top and second grooves look exactly the same, but they are in fact different. If you take these out and get them confused, it comes with this little sheet of paper. Top groove, that when the dot is up, which should be facing up, the bevel is up. And then in my case, for the second ring, when it's the dot is up, the bevel is on the bottom. Another thing is the end gap should be 4 thousandths for 1 inch of bore diameter, and using the 4 thousandths, my spec should be around 15.5 thousandths to Alrighty, this thing is ready for assembly. Well, I guess some cleaning and then assembly. Rings are all gapped, all the clearances are perfect, bearings look amazing. One last thing on these pistons. So the first compression ring, when they butted up together, there was a gap towards the outside, so I filed some off of the inside. Those were 19 thousandths. And then I did the second compression ring to 20 thousandths. And then these just need to be over 15 thousandths, and they all were right out of the box. Super easy. I ended up just using this like real cheap Summit grinder, and it's got its use. But yeah, so final cleaning and then assembly. I'm pretty excited for it. So that's going to be it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for subscribing. I appreciate you. See ya.